Hello, everybody. I hope that you are having a relaxing night. It is a very calm and easygoing night here on the Mindful Whispers YouTube channel. Now you have to ask yourself, how ridiculous do your ASMR projects have to be before you start questioning them? For instance, if I was about to record a video of me reciting all of Danny DeVito's filmography as listed on his iMDB page, is that too ridiculous? And should I question it? Or should I just go along and list in chronological order every single project that Danny DeVito has been a part of since the beginning of his career in the year 1970? That sounds like a question for another time, but for now, did you know that in 1970, Danny DeVito began his career playing Thug in a movie called Dreams of Glass? The following year, in 1971, Danny DeVito played the character Fred Mancuso in the movie Lady Liberty. The following year after that, which was 1972, Danny DeVito was in the movie. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm so good for the bit. Danny DeVito was an actor in the 1972 movie Hot Dogs for Gauguin, in which he played Adrian. The following year, in 1973, he played Fly Speck in the movie Peg Leg, Musket, and Saber. 1973 was the first year that Danny DeVito had 2 projects listed in his official filmography. In 1973, he played Petey in the movie Hurry Up or I'll Be 30. In one of his most famous and critically acclaimed roles, in 1975, he played Martini in the famed and Oscar-nominated movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That same year, in the film Deadly Hero, he played Harry. Also in a short in 1975, he played Ludovico in a project known as Mindstrone. Following that year in 1976, he was a bartender in the R-rated movie Atlantic City Jackpot. I had thought that was his first R-rated movie, but looking back at my records, the film Hurry Up or I'll Be 30 was indeed rated R. He was also in the film Car Wash in 1976, where he played Joe, although some people believe that this movie should not be in his official filmography, as his scenes were deleted. Now, we're getting into television series. Although the upcoming series, Del Vecchio, is his first television program. I'd like to clarify that I am reading his IMDb in chronological order, so the later his final appearance in a TV show is, the later it will appear. Fans of Danny DeVito might realize that this means that for Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I will not be reading his entry there until 2023. But he played Anthony Beansy Marat in Del Vecchio. He was only in one episode in 1977. Following that, he played Andy in the movie The Van in 1977. He was on one episode of Starsky and Hutch in 1977, in which he played a character named John the Apple Diaboliso. In 1977, he played the character assistant director in the film The World's Greatest Lover. Following that, he was on one episode of a TV show called Policewoman in 1977, where he played a character named Napoleon. Then in 1978, he played a character named Hog in a movie called Going South. In 1979, he played a character named Max in the movie Swap Meet. Following that, he was in one episode of Angie in 1979 where he played Uncle Cheech. He was then in a television movie in 1979 called Valentine, where he portrayed the character Dewey. We've now entered the 1980s on his IMDb page. He was in a movie called The Gong Show Movie, in which he played an uncredited performer. Following that, he was in one episode of the TV series The Associates, in which he played a character named Alan Swarthmore. In 1981, he was in a movie called Going Ape, where he played Laszlo. He was then in another TV movie in 1983 called Likely Stories, Volume 2, in which he played a character named Vince D'Angelo. Now, in one of Danny DeVito's most iconic roles, he played Louis De Palma in a whopping 114 episodes of Taxi. And he played Louis from the years 1978 to 1983. Following Taxi, he was in Terms of Endearment in 1983, where he played Vernon Dellart. He was in another TV movie in 1983 called The Selling of Vince D'Angelo, in which he himself played Vince D'Angelo. In one of his more famous movies, he was in Romancing the Stone in 1984, in which he portrayed the character Ralph. In 1984, he was also in a TV series called CBS School Break Special, in which he played a character named Aykroyd. In 1984, he was in another TV movie called The Ratings Game, in which he played a character named Vic DeSalvo. the movie Johnny Dangerously. Also in 1984, he appeared as himself in an uncredited role for the Ray Parker Jr. Ghostbusters music video. Then in 1985, in a TV movie called Happily Ever After, he voiced the character George Johnson. Also in 1985, in a film called The Jewel of the Nile, he portrayed Ralph. Also in 1985, in a movie called Head Office, he portrayed the character Frank Stedman. Also in 1985, he appeared as himself in the music video Billy Ocean. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. In 1986, he portrayed Harry Valentini in Wise Guys. In 1986, he voiced the character Grundle King in My Little Pony the movie. Shout out to all the bronies out there. In 1986, he played Sam Stone in Ruthless People. In 1986, he played Herbert in one episode of Amazing Stories. In 1987, he played a character named Tilly in the film Tin Men. In 1987, he portrayed the character Owen Lift in Throw Mama from a Train. In one of my favorite Danny DeVito roles, he played the character Vincent Benedict in the 1988 movie Twins, alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger. At the time that I'm recording this, they recently reunited for a State Farm Super Bowl commercial in which they referenced this movie. In 1989, he was the voice of George Johnson in a TV movie called Two Daddies. In 1989, he portrayed Gavin D'Amato in The War of the Roses. In 1990, he portrayed Vic in the Earth Day special. He had an uncredited role in the 1991 movie Money. Also in 1991, he portrayed Lawrence Garfield in the film Other People's Money. From the years of 1988 to 1992, he portrayed the character Vincent Van Grouch in the famed children's television show Sesame Street. In 1992, he was the Penguin in Batman Returns. In 1992, he was Bobby Ciaro in the movie Hoffa. In 1993, he was John Leary in the movie Jack the Bear. In 1993, he was an uncredited voice cameo of Whiskers in the movie Last Action Hero. In 1993, he was the voice of Rox in Look Who's Talking Now. In 1994, he was a Worm TV host in the TV special All-Star 25th Birthday stars and Street Forever. In 1994, he was Bill Rago in Renaissance Man. In 1994, he was himself in one episode of The Larry Sanders Show. In 1994, he was a featured extra in Felony. In 1994, he was Dr. Larry Arbogast in Junior. In 1995, he was Martin Weir in Get Shorty. In 1995, he was Wolfie in The Little Red Riding Hood. In one of my favorite Danny DeVito roles, and potentially one of the first ones I ever saw him in, he was Mr. Wormwood, and also the narrator in 1996's Matilda. Speaking of amazing movies from 1996, in 1996 he was the voice of Swackhammer in the original Space Jam. In 1996, he was a rude gambler in Mars Attacks. In 1997, he was Dean Martin. Sorry, I had to sneeze. In 1997, he was Dean Martin in the TV series Pearl for only one episode. In 1997, he was Sid Hutchins in LA Confidential. In 1997, he was the voice of Phil in Disney's Hercules. In 1997, he was an uncredited alien on the TV monitor in Men in Black. In 1997, he was Phil yet again in Disney's animated storybook Hercules. In 1997, he was in one episode of a TV series called Eschio Neviger. In 1997, he was Deck Shiflet in The Rainmaker. Yet another version of his character Phil from Hercules. He was Phil from the Hercules video game in 1997. In 1998, he was a reporter in the music video Puff Daddy featuring Notorious B.I.G. and Busta Rhymes' Victory. In 1998, he was Pat Francato in Living Out Loud. In 1999, he was Dr. Wernicker in The Virgin Suicides. In 1999, he was Phil Cooper in The Big Kahuna. In 1999, he was George Shapiro in Man on the Moon. In the year 2000, he was Chief Rash in Drowning Mona. In the year 2000, he was Grover Cleaver in Screwed. In the year 2000, he played himself on one episode of Bet. From the years of 1999 to 2000, he was in two episodes of the series biography in which he was the narrator. In 2001, he portrayed Owen in Throw Mama from the Train, deleted scenes. In 2001, he was Max Fairbanks in What's the Worst That Could Happen? In 2001, he was Mickey Bergman in Heist. In 2002, he was Burke Bennett in Death to Smoochie. In 2002, he was Danny DeVito / Famous Mini-Me in Austin Powers in Goldmember. Great movie. In 2002, he was in one episode of Ed, where he played Dr. Jack Carmichael. In 2003, he played Harvey Walker. In 2003, he played Harvey Wexler in Anything Else. In 2003, he was the narrator in Duplex. In 2003, he played Charlie Luker in Karen Cisco, where he appeared in 2 episodes. In 2003, he was Amos Calloway in Big Fish. In 2004, he played Roy the Stripper in an episode of Friends. In 2004, he was uncredited in the video Bad Boys 10th Anniversary, The Hits. In 2004, he was in one television episode of Father of the Bride, in which he played Emerson. In 2004, he played General Needham in a voice role for the short Catching Kringle. In 2004, he played Brad in Christmas in Love. In 2004, he was in the project Family of the Year. In 2005, he played Booth in Marilyn Hotchkiss's Ballroom Dancing and Charm School. In 2005, he played Martin Weir in Be Cool. In 2006, he played Wayne, the pool guy, in The O in Ohio. In 2006, he played Walter in Even Money. In 2006, he had an uncredited role as Uncle Rick in My Girlfriend's Abroad. In 2006, he was Frank Menier in Relative Strangers. In 2006, he was Big D in 10 Items or Less. In 2006, he was Buddy Hall in Deck the Halls. In 2007, he was Mel in The Good Night. In 2007, he was a district attorney in Reno 911 Miami. In 2007, he was George Gassner in Noble Son. In 2007, he played himself in one episode of Funny or Die Presents. In 2008, he was Merle Stryker in Just Add Water. Also in 2008, he was the cab driver / narrator in a voice role in the TV movie Little Spirit, Christmas in New York. In 2009, he was Jimmy Marino in Solitary Man. In 2010, he was Al in When in Rome. In 2010, he was Tom Cathcart in Housebroken. In 2010, he played himself in I'm Still Here. In 2010, he appeared in the video Inside the Actor's Workshop. In 2011, he played Aldo in Girl Walks Into a Bar. In 2012, he had the voice role of the Lorax in The Lorax. In 2012, he also voiced the Lorax in Forces of Nature, which was a short video. In 2012, he was Eugene Portland in Hotel Noir. In 2012, he played Mr. Bees in the short Today's the Day. From the years 1991 to 2013, he appeared in 3 episodes of The Simpsons as Herb Powell, aka Unky Herb, Homer's brother. In 2013, he was the Righteous Whale in 7 Minutes to Save the World. In 2014, he was Dr. Pembry in All the Wilderness. In 2014, he was a clip director in the One Direction music video, Steal My Girl. In 2015, he was Giuseppe Monomaki in the TV series Deadbeat, where he appeared for 1 episode. In 2015, he appeared in the video Nespresso Training Day. In 2016, he was Dave Schmers in Wiener Dog. In 2016, he was Jackie in the short film Curmudgeons. In 2016, he was James Berkowitz in The Comedian. In 2017, he had the voice role of Chesterfield in Animal Crackers. Animal Crackers was 2017. In 2018, he was the voice of Dorgle in Smallfoot. From the years 2018, only in 2018, he appeared in 2 episodes of The Kaminsky Method as Dr. Wexler. In 2019, he was Max Medici in Dumbo. In 2019, he was Eddie in Jumanji: The Next Level. In 2020, he was the voice of Bob in The One and Only Ivan. In 2021, he played himself in the short Discord, the movie. In 2020, I am falling asleep. In 2021, he was Charlie Goldman in The Survivor. In 2021, he was in 1 episode of Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, in which he played the chemist. In 2022, he returned to voice the Lorax in Minions and More 1. In 2022, he was in 10 episodes, playing the voice role of Satan in Little Demon. In 2022, he was also in 1 episode of Storybot's Answer Time. In 2023, he was Tsar Nicholas in 1 episode of History of the World, Part 2. In 2023, he was in 1 episode of Big City Greens as Merv Stampington. In 2023, he played himself in the short video Jersey Mike's Coolest Thing commercial. In 2023, he played Bruce Davis in Haunted Mansion. Now my personal favorite Danny DeVito role, and I'm sure many of your favorite Danny DeVito roles, is his role of Frank Reynolds in the hit comedy series It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. As of this recording, he has been in 163 episodes, ranging from 2006 to 2023, which I think is fantastic. Moving along, in 2023, he was Jack in Pool Man. In 2023, he was in one episode of The Broadway Show with Tamsin Fadal. In 2023, he was the voice of Uncle Dan in Migration. In 2024, as I stated earlier in this video, he portrayed the character of Sidekick with Arnold Schwarzenegger in Agent State Farm, which was a recent Super Bowl commercial for State Farm. As of this recording, he currently has 4 projects listed as in progress on his IMDb page. Those are The Flying Carsons Part 1 Hunter, in which he will be playing a voice role. And then in development is a project called Sniff, where he will play William Keys. Another project called The Summer Before Forever, in which he will play Turkmeister. And then last but not least, an untitled Tim Long project, in which he will portray Arlo Finkelman. Now, those have not been officially added to his IMDb page, so those are subject to editing, depending on how the next year or 2 goes. Thank you for sticking it out this long. If you stuck it out this long, I know that this was potentially a risky video to make. We have just hit the 32-minute mark, and if you're still around, then I'm grateful, because let's face it, this was admittedly a stupid thing to do, but I wanted to do it anyway. I think it's pretty cool that I can just zone out and relax and ramble, and there's a population of you guys out there that enjoy listening to me ramble about nothing and calmly speak and calmly whisper, and what a gift it is to speak to you, and for you to have chosen my content it's really special. You know, YouTubers and creatives, they just put whatever the hell they want out here on YouTube, and a lot of good stuff gets lost to the wind. So for you to take the time to give my stuff a shot, how special is that? Please, if you enjoyed this, leave a comment. You have my word that I will respond to it. Unless, I'll respond to it so long as, 1, this doesn't blow up and it becomes impossible to do so, but I don't think that's going to happen. And 2, if something happens to me, obviously I can't respond, but if I'm alive and well, then I'll be responding. Thank you again. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. I hope that you have found mindfulness or zen or relaxation or whatever you've been looking for here. My best to you all. Thank you.